What's going on, traders? This is Rob, MV3 Traders. What I want to talk to y'all today about is something I like to call power ranges.
Let's do it!
Go Power Rangers! No, no, not Power Rangers. Power Ranges. Okay. All right. So now that we got that out the way, now this one should be like a quick one. The reason I'm posting this because if you follow me on my Twitter, you can see at MV3 Trader. You see every day I post the current economic, the major economic events that could be that could have an effect on that day's trading. I post that, but also I post this thing I call the future sessions power range, and only for NQ. I only do it for NQ. This works, for different contracts. It doesn't just work for NQ. But I follow the NQ, so that's the only one that I put. I kind of also look at some other things, but on Twitter, as far as Twitter's concerned, I'm only posting this I'm only posting the what I call the power range for NQ. So let's get into it. So what is this power range? All right, and to illustrate this, I'm going to just use TradingView. All right, it's definitely one of my, outside of Sierra chart, this is definitely one of my favorite platforms. And to make it simple, I'm going to go to the 10-minute chart. All right, so there's two time frames that I look at for this. All right, and for the future session, so it's 6 p.m. to 5 p.m. the next day. All right, that's what we're looking at as the future session for all futures contracts, no matter what you're looking at. So for this, I look at two time frames for these ranges. One, I look at the open of the future session, which is I look at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then sometimes sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. Also, another range that I reference for this is the New York Stock Exchange open market time. From 9:30 Eastern Time. But I just for that one I only use the first 30 minutes of the open. So from 9:30 to 10, I use that as a reference point. All right. So basically, what I'm doing, I'm going to use I'm just going to use a vertical line here so we can see the time frame, the time period. All right, and I'm going to zoom in to a 3-minute, just so we can kind of see this a little better. Where did we go? All right. So what I would do with this piece of information here, I don't trade. If I trade in the afternoons, which I'm kind of, this whole COVID-19 thing, it messed up my schedule. So I'm kind of thinking about trading, this afternoon session or this evening session, or the opening session, the first, few hours of the future session. So what I do with this, we got the open here at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. right? So we're looking at this area right here. So I'll take the highs and the low for that time period. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and mark that out. All right, that's the high. And I'm gonna go ahead and put the low in there. All right, so now I didn't create this like I saw other traders kind of using this. I saw them using it mostly for like day trading during the regular US trading hours. And they would, a lot of traders, they use the first 30 minutes or whatever, but mostly I've seen it where they use the first 30 minutes of the US market hours. So from 9:30 to 10, they'll use that range of time, what happens in that time, to as a reference for the trading decisions that they're going to make for the rest of the day. All right, so I didn't come up with this concept. This is basically what I'm saying, but just something that I saw that was interesting, that can give some information that you can actually do something with. All right, so you can see I got the range here. Here's the high. In fact, let's go ahead and put let's go ahead and there we go. Computer's moving a little slow, so we're just gonna put PR. All right, PR. If I can type high, there we go. We'll power range height. And I don't, I don't go this deep into it, but when I'm just for illustration purposes only, so that we can, everything is clear. All right, so you see we got the power range high over here, and then the power range low. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways that you can use this kind of information. I've actually looked at it several different ways, but I guess I'll go ahead and let me see. I'm just gonna create like a very, very simple scenario of something that you could do with this. All right. I want to minimize that. There we go. All right. So one thing that you could possibly, like, let's just say, for instance, I want to use this to try to take a trending play or whatever. Right. I want to catch a trending move. So I could look at this, and once we break out from this range. All right. So let's say I'm just going to use this as a reference. Right. So if the price is in this range, I'm not going to take any trades. This is just an example. Now, this is only an example. I'm only, this is not something. This is actually something that I wouldn't personally do because I have a different trading style. I kind of like to buy into pullbacks or enter into pullbacks, and yeah, I have different type of things that I like to do. But so let's say we have this this power range high and low here. So I mean, one thing that I could do with it is once we break the the high or the low, we could take a trade in that direction. So you see here we broke the low of that. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to turn off all my indicators. That's what I'm going to do. Just so let's just keep it to keep it extremely simple, and just to see this focus, to keep the focus on the what I call the power range. I'm just going to turn off all the indicators, and we can see any possible things that we can do with it. All right, so let's say if we break let's say I have a strategy that if we break either the high or the low of that range, I'm going to take the trade. So you can see here, I mean, it's not on this day, we don't have that great of a move. I mean, if you look back to the left, we already, traded bearish quite a bit. And in fact, I'm going to go to just so we get a bigger picture here, go to the 15-minute. All right, so you can see we came a pretty long way. So, I mean, you typically wouldn't expect it to have a continue from this range here. You wouldn't expect it to continue trading bearish for a very long time. But as the day continues on, and right here we have the open, you can there's different time frames that you can see, or later on throughout the futures trading session, that from my perspective, we can see that we can actually do something with this information. All right, so right here, if we go ahead and zoom back in and go back to the 3-minute, and that's another personal preference of mine. I like to use the 3-minute. You see, we have some movement, just a little bit of movement, but we do have some movement below the low of that future session power range, and it did it a couple times. Actually, you can play this. I'm looking at ways right now that I can actually play this price action right here. So, and if you continue on throughout the day, let's say we just wait and we're only looking at the future session power range, what I call the future session power range. I just gotta keep that clear. This is only what I'm calling it. There's no magic sauce or anything that I put on it. This is not the Holy Grail or anything. This is something that that resonates with me, right, in my trading. So even if we looked at the high of that range, you can see we got really good price movement where we can, execute, several different strategies to take advantage of this price action to the long side. So if I was to do the same thing, let's go ahead and matter of fact, I'm just going to add on top of this. I'm going to move this if I can. Let's see. Actually, no. I'm going to keep it just like that. All right. So let's do it for the first 30 minutes of the U.S. trading hours. All right. So we're going to go ahead and look at their, let me go ahead and mark this out. Here's 9:30, the first 30 minutes. All right. So this is the open market. There we go. Power range. All right. So you got the first 30 minutes. We're gonna go ahead. We're not gonna pay attention to anything to the left or the right in real time. We wouldn't get any information to the right. Of course, we'll only have the information to the left, but we're not gonna pay attention to any of that. We're only gonna look at the 9:30 to 10 o'clock time period to plot our range here. All right. So you can kind of barely see it because I drew this vertical line there, but there's a wick here. Let me see if I can get it to where it shows me the wick, because I care about the wick as well. Somewhere around in there. All right. And let's see the low. I'm going to have to move this vertical line. Okay. That was the high. And here is the low. All right. So let's go. Go 9:30 power range low. Sorry about the lag. I don't know what's going. I got a lot of stuff running on my my computer right now. That's why we got this little lag going. And all right. So we also, you can see we got information here. If we started trading right here at 10 o'clock, I mean, there's a lot of things that we can do with this. And let me just throw, just for fun, let me go ahead and throw on a 10 moving average, just for fun, And, you can do something with that. I mean, there's a lot you can do with it. I'm going to go ahead and throw on the 200 simple moving average, just for fun. You can see. And still, maybe you could, have your entry here with your target at the high of that power range, right? And you do it again once we come back into some support here. Was previous resistance if you look to the left, and you can do the same thing. The possibilities of different strategies that you could come up with based off of this information is virtually limitless. You can do all kinds of combinations of things, but the purpose of me looking at these power ranges and posting it on Twitter and stuff is I think it shows pretty valuable information. I'm pretty sure that people got other names for this, or they just call it the high and the low or whatever. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to claim that I created this or anything, but I'm just sharing this information that I find useful, and I named it Power Rangers. That's it. So not Power Rangers, it's Power Ranges. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much all for this video. I just wanted to share that, break that down. If you follow me on Twitter and you saw me posting it every single day, I try to post that every single day. I used to do both time periods, the 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. and the 9:30 to 10 a.m. Ranges, but of course, times have changed. I don't think I got to go too deeply into that, but times have definitely changed, and it has affected my schedule. So, yeah, I had to shift things around a little bit, but still, you can see even without using this 9:30 to 10 a.m. information, you can there's still some valuable information here. So, in my opinion. All right. So that's pretty much, all I wanted to share in this video. I hope you guys are staying safe out there. Make sure you, keep your immune system strong and all that. I'm not going to, give any I'm not gonna go too deep down that rabbit hole, but that's all for this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Deuces.